Pandu and Bala woke up struggling. Leaving the goats and sheep there, they started running for their lives. Panting, they reached the palace, and loudly Sakharam started calling the steward. Hearing their screams, the whole village gathered together. They told Sakharam the reality of what had happened. Sakharam and the villagers had decided that they should tell this story to RAIGAD and settle it. All the villagers were filled with fear. No matter what, these animals should be taken care of, everyone thought. While sleeping at night, baby Ambika began to tell his mother all the stories that had happened and told him immediately, "I remembered where we had got our feet stuck in the branch. There is a different person looking at us was standing." He told this fact to Sakharam. How can any other man come but the shepherd's castle on his castle, below the desolate valley of Takmak? Everyone was surprised by this, saying that there must be some cowherd who must have come there by mistake. Sakharam avoided the subject and decided to leave for RAIGAD in the morning, announcing to everyone that he would take someone with him. Preparations were ordered, made sure to take Sakharam's childhood friends, Malhari, Sarja, and Narayan from the palace. All three were strong in body and of one mind. Sakharam had a lot of love. So preparations were made, and that night was a thing of the past. The first sentinel rooster of the morning gave the first crow. Sakharam's two stewards got up and started cooking. RAIGAD looked very beautiful in the early morning mist. From Takamaka, the entire area above was covered in fog. The first from a distance is a wrestler with a white ear cap and a kneeling nap. It felt like killing. Mother Radhika removed the lid of the chicken coop and took out the chickens resting inside, fell, and then hearing the sound of those chickens, the crows of other houses in the village started shouting loudly. Sakharam took out some ragi from the sack full of ragi and threw it in the yard as the chickens swarmed over it, fell apart. Small chickens sat on Sakharam's shoulders and head. Sakharam moved them aside and danced some more. In front of the goat fence, goats and sheep were also looking at him with hope. By leaving the haystack in front of them, they provided fodder and water. Cows, buffaloes, and bulls in the cowshed were all fed. At this time, the copper had started to burst. Companions who come with a blanket on their body, a bag with bread to eat, and an axe at Sakharam's door appeared. Sakharam finished his breakfast and applied Pandara to the foreheads of his companions, and Radhika went to tell Ambika. To save from the rain, the four of them had tied it and carried it on their heads. The fine drizzle continued. In order to be with him, Sakharam took the horse on fours and tied the bag of food he had brought on it. One time, Takamak looked at the tip. Sakharam remembered that the last time Shivaji Raja Bhosle was coronated, the Maharaja himself was the first from Rayagada. A glimpse of the past began to appear before his eyes. Shivaji, whose name I grew up listening to, had become the king on that day. Rairi area was once shaken by the riots of the Moors of Javali and the Bhosles of Pune. From Mahabaleshwar to Mahad, the entire dense forest belt was under the control of Javalikar Moors. God knows what happened, but one day thousands of Hashams carrying saffron flags stormed RAIGAD, and since then, never before. RAIGAD area was not affected. Everything was happy. Maharaja had made this fort of Rairi RAIGAD by pouring money like water. At that time, it was our palace that had shown the path of the forest to the Maharaja's army. And one day, Maharaj became king. As much gold as could fit in a fist, all the Rayats felt like Maharaj Darshan was seen. Sakharam was remembering all this While looking at Takamaka, everyone left. From the castle, there was a way to go to the cheat gate of RAIGAD under the Takamaka. On the way, Maharaj's marches, meetings. Yes, but in this heavy rain, it is impossible to say whether anyone will be there or not. Malhari, Sarja, Narayan, and Sakharam started walking from that palace. It was drizzling above, but because of the snow, fine frost was falling on the face without touching the head. Blankets were thrown over the food to prevent it from getting wet. Malhari took hold of the reins of the horse, and the four trod through the mud towards the Takmak Valley. About 2 hours passed. The sun had risen well. It was predicted that there would be a clash between 1-2 kos, and all the four were shocked. There was a kind of anonymous fear in my mind. So many people have come down from above. What happened to them? When a person dies, where does he go? And how much of a useless life everyone must be going after, falling from such a height. There was anonymous fear in the head of all the four. And at that moment, another deadly scream was heard piercing the sky. All the four looked up cautiously and saw that someone else had fallen from the clash. Everyone was trembling with fear. A low sound gradually grew louder, and a body thump just a few distance away. All four of them guessed that it had fallen in the thick net of the forest, making noise. They started looking at each other. After thinking a lot, Sakharam said, "Guys, shall we come and see who it is?"